We're at the Fine Arts Center for their opening reception. Hear from the artists on this edition of Irvine Scene. Two new installations are up at the Irvine Fine Arts Center. One is a collaborative effort put on by more than 30 artists, and the other is a solo show.
We're Link Collective. We're a group of artists that actually mostly met here at Irvine Fine Arts Center. So we're printmakers, and we met in the studio here. The title of the show is Metamorphosis, Mending the Wound. And there's just so much going on in the world today, like the fires and just everything. It has to do with that. It has to do with transformation. There's a lot of pieces that, either in a mythology sense or like a personal sense.
But the metamorphosis aspect, I think we could all share that common theme in some way or another.
Everything is collaborative. So in some projects, two artists work together, and like Reflection, so they actually responded. The first person made a piece and then the other person responded. Others are 9 different people, for example.
The project scene behind the co-curators is called A Fragile Web, and this was done by 15 artists.
So everything is fragile, right? Everything changes, even the way it's hung, because the way the piece is hung, the medium kind of sags a little bit. My crew created these wonderful images, and they're kind of becoming a little distorted, the way things in life do, and the way things become interdependent, and they kind of tug, right? So one pulls one way, one pulls another way.
Each artist formed the word fragile in multiple languages or drew an endangered species. It's basically essentially string, including from the little string from tea bags, we actually recycled that.
Another project titled Cocoon also uses tea bags and incorporates printmaking, a constant medium throughout.
I choose tea bags because they represent a silk cocoon in the fine, flattering, delicate way that it is made. And every one of the 12 artists that participated brought in pictures on tea bags I gave them. And they're all made in printmaking techniques. And the underlayer is wound wrapping that I pinned the tea bags to. So this is kind of the healing the wound idea.
The Blue Wall is a project led by Christina, the co-curator. 20 artists took part in this display, many thinking outside the box in their printmaking techniques.
For instance, my bears, which are up there, there's some teddy bears. Well, okay, that sounds like, that's kind of dull, but what I did was I stuffed them underneath the press, the printing press, and rolled them through the press. Most children have what they call in psychology transitional objects, which is a bear, a blanket, and how over time they start to deteriorate. So the images are pummeled by the press like a baby might, tear at their transitional objects.
Carol Gelker also led the project that touched on Greek mythology and the plant world.
Most of them are plexiglass prints, so it's a traditional method of cutting into the plexiglass to create the image. Most of them are actually based upon the natural environment, on organic growth and change. And one of them is a fairy tale.
From the central gallery to the project gallery, there's a second show to see.
This entire room can be kind of conceived of or thought of as an installation. It's all work by one artist, Michelle Andrade, that spans paintings, books, mixed media works, drawings. The title of the exhibition is Everything's Fine. It's got a lot of nuance. It's a little bit tongue-in-cheek, but it's also, I think, a very earnest exhibition. A lot of the phrases and the thoughts and the words that you'll find throughout the drawings and the paintings, I think are going to be very relatable to a lot of people.
More than 100 works of art are on display throughout the studio. You have until May 24th to check it out. For more information, log on to their website. For Irvine Scene, I'm Jacqueline Twegg.